Welcome to the Sisters of the Shire podcast. I'm Abby, and with me today, as always, is my beautiful co-host Ashley. And this season, we are diving into The Unfinished Tales, a collection of stories, fragments, and background details that expand on the events and the characters from The Silmarillion, The Hobbit, and The Lord of the Rings.
These are the deleted scenes that Tolkien had to cut from his larger works, but they do give us a deeper understanding of Middle-earth's history and lore. I almost said misunderstanding, and that's also kind of works.
But that's what we're here for, so there is no misunderstandings.
Yes.
So, if you've been listening for a while, thank you for sticking with us. We're so happy you're here. And if you're new, hello, welcome. We love that you're here joining us, but we suggest if this is the first one you're jumping into, you might be a little confused. So maybe starting from the beginning of this season at least, or if you're dedicated, the very beginning of our podcast to get the full picture of this whole story, because let me tell you, it is deep. It is confusing.
Intricate.
It is super sad. So,
yes.
If you want to do that, awesome. But if you're new here, hello. We love that you are here.
Be prepared to be confused.
Yes.
Because whether you're familiar with these stories or discovering them for the first time, we will hopefully help you not be confused and break them down for you, keep things easy to follow along with, and just have lots of fun along the way. So, without further ado, let's get into The Unfinished Tales.
Woo!
Woo!
Let's go!
Let's go!
So I'm sad I'm not recording in the same room with you right now.
I know. It feels so wrong now.
I know. We just have to, maybe it could be like a once a year thing that we get to do. How about that?
I like it.
That we have to record in the same room at least once a year.
Okay.
That's our goal.
Yes.
We just came back from a really fun weekend at Auntie Ashley's house with cousin Lizzie and Uncle Nate. And then I came home and my family left me to go camping.
Trade you a Luna for an Oakley.
Yeah, there you go. So me and Oakley have been hanging out. It's not like I don't love camping. I love camping, but I just was not ready to go camping. And they were ready. So I was like, you know what? You guys can go. And they went to a campsite that isn't super fun for an Oakley-sized person. Or actually, the reality of it would be super fun for an Oakley-sized person, but it would be no fun for me because I'd be like, don't fall off that cliff. Don't fall in the lake. So me and my anxiety are staying home.
And that anxiety is going to get their anxiety. I liked that little pun that you said at movie.
Mm-hmm. So we're enjoying, we bought him a water gun yesterday, and so we were having fun with that, and
cute.
It was really cute. And it's so funny because when the water gun is filled up, it's like weighs as much as he does. So when he tries to hold it, it's like falling forward, and he's like, I got it. And then he will try to pull the, what is that called? The front, when you pump a water gun and you have to pull the front part. So when he pulls that, he pulls it against his tummy to balance it. But when he does that, it's right at my face level.
Of course.
And grandma's.
I think they make it that way.
Yeah.
They figured out the math
exactly
to make that happen.
A toddler stands with this at this right angle. It should hit an average-sized mother in the face.
Brilliant, Jeffrey. Brilliant.
Marketing team, let's go. So anyway, how have you been? How was fairy camp for Lizzie?
Good. She told me, so it's the cutest little camp. It's they like hike to it's one of the biggest trees. They literally call it Big Tree. I think in um the United States. Like it's up there as far as like circumference.
Mm.
Um it's a very thick tree. So they do, but it's like a 2 mile hike, but they just are all troopers and they just are in the woods and they learn how to um read a compass kind of. They make fairy houses. There's this little area on the way to the big tree that they like put like a little door against this like log and it Lizzie is convinced that a troll lives there and that, you know what? My friend saw it the other day. It's real. It's real, Mom.
I mean, yeah,
I
I
mean,
believe it.
who am I to say? Yeah.
You weren't there. You weren't
I
there.
wasn't there. I wasn't there. And what's funny is she said, well, they don't come out in the daytime a lot because, you know, they turn into stone. I was like, did you get that from Tolkien? Because if so, good girl. Um, but then they like bring animals. They have a thing with like the wild animal people. So they bring in like two animals camp and they got to see a turkey vulture. I'm like, cool, that's not terrifying. Um,
Those are huge, by the
and
way.
yeah. And the other one, she's like, it's a something P Falcon. I was like, P Falcon, P. And then I like saw the little like letter afterwards from like the camp and it was a peregrine falcon. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, Lizzie, did you know that peregrine is actually Pippin's full name? She goes, what? And I was like, so we should just call it the Pippin Falcon, right? She goes, yes, Pippin Falcon.
There has to be a falcon in some zoo somewhere that has the name Pippin. There
Right?
have to.
I mean, the nerds unite, and that's how they work.
I was
So,
watching a zoo video the other day with Oakley, and they were talking about their guinea pigs because they have a guinea pig village in their zoo, and they were naming all their guinea pigs. And he's like, "Here's Eowyn, and here's Galadriel, and here's Arwen, and here's." I was like, "Ah!"
which zoo was this? I need to know now.
I think it's in Cincinnati. No, maybe I don't know.
Well,
I
shout
know.
out to
I was
that
like,
zoo.
I know. I'm
They
like,
awesome.
what? But my favorite was there was a really so some guinea pigs have really long hair. We call them guinea wigs in our family because they look like little wigs.
Uh-huh.
But they're like long hair, and the one that was long haired at that zoo was called Pantene, which makes me laugh so much.
They didn't name it
And if you don't understand that, if that's not a cultural joke for you, Pantene is a big shampoo and conditioner hair product brand, which makes me laugh. That
that had all of the epic commercials when we were kids.
yeah, I just love that the little guinea
Not
pig.
as bad as the herbal essences ones that had them making weird noises in the airplane bathrooms. That was such a weird commercial. If
Anyway,
you know, you know. You know what we're talking about, people. Okay.
uh,
Anyways, let's talk about Tolkien some more. How much do you remember of last week? Last week was sad.
yes, last week we learned that rushing in and being dramatic isn't helpful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Túrin ran home to like not his home, but like the
His land.
home that his mom and sister and him lived in while they were like being oppressed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To see if that's where his mom and sister were being held or tortured or whatever, because they knew that that was happening. And he gets there and they're not there, and he's like, what the heck? And we get to meet an old friend. We get to meet his poor, what is it?
Labadal.
Lavadal. No, like what was he? He was like
Oh,
a he wasn't like a servant, was he? Was he just like
he
a
was, he was a servant, but he was a uh like a craftsman. Like
yes.
he was like he carved, I think, like a throne like thing for Hurin.
Yes. So he was like Túrin's guiding man figure in his life for a while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he when Túrin came in, he's like kind of wary of like, who's this guy? And then he's like, oh, it's my baby Túrin. But what did he call him? That was so cute. My
Little Lord.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so Túrin rushed in to be like, where's my mother? Where's my sister? To the main what Easterling
Mm-hmm.
chief. What did I say, chief?
Yeah,
Golly.
your chief.
Yeah. Um, like so angry, like where's my mom, where's my sister? And and then things got really out of hand and he what is it called? Did he chop his head off? No, he broke his neck. Like he like threw him so hard, the chief guy, that he
Mm-hmm.
broke his neck, which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody got really mad at Turin because they're like, cool, now everybody's gonna be angry and now we're gonna get extra torture sessions and
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, just get out of here, please. Just go. Just leave. Your mom isn't
Yes,
even
please.
here. Let's just get out of here. You ruined the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady that was
Aaron, or Iron, as the Audible guy calls him, or her calls her.
um was very, what's the word, like helpful to an extent,
She
like
was in a
yes,
tough situation.
yes, we can't blame her. She
If
was
I
a little
am loyal to
hard.
Turin, then I am betraying my beloved husband that I love dearly. My
Yes, that
husband of
super
love,
great guy.
centipede.
This romantic man that
Mm-hmm.
only married me out of love. Um, and she was kind of like, well, you ruined this for everyone, but this is where your mom and whatever was there last, so just go. Just go. Just leave.
Just go.
And she, I think, did like that. She was like super bad A in the end of her story of like, I'm gonna take care of things now.
Yes. I really
I think
wonder
she
what
like
happened because all you see is that there's like a fire off in the distance, and Turin's like, did the Easterlings do that? And one of the other survivors is like, no, I think Lady Iron did that. And they're like, but why? Why was the. No idea.
I can
We'll never
see
know.
you know, the Easterlings, whatever, running around, everybody running around, and she and like something gets knocked over, and then the oil lamp gets knocked over, and then it starts like lighting the whole hall on fire, and she's still sitting in her like throne area, and then she just like slowly gets up. Then she's like, okay, it's my time. And then she like takes up like some weapon and just starts going to town, like at the end. She's like all pent up, like, finally. And then you don't hear her anymore. That's how I feel she went out. That's my
Okay.
dream of her. That's how
Okay.
she went out. She was like, you know what? I stayed silent for too long. It's
I like
my
it. I like
time.
it. Okay.
So
I like
then
it.
we have Turin. Oh, and then it ended on like the super sad line of like when he ran away from the city or whatever, that he could hear
Finduilas' cries.
Finduilas crying for him, like, you should have helped me.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, so sad.
Yeah. So when he breaks, all hell breaks loose in the with Chief Brada, the elders of Dor-lómin who were in the hall too joined in the fight, and that's when Sodor dies.
Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna bring
Um,
it up. You brought it up.
I had to fill in the gaps. And then some of the elders of Dor-lómin do manage to survive the skirmish, and along with Túrin, they escape into like the hills, and um, yeah, that's kind of how. And then that's where they're like speculating, like, what do you think happened over there? And yeah, that's kind of where we ended things. And even the survivors are like, you messed things up so bad. Please don't do that again. Not unless you have a freaking army.
Yeah. You're just one dude and a guy with a limp and some old
Yeah.
folks.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's kind of how we ended things last week.
Okay. Super high note.
Yeah. So the survivors from Dor-lómin and Túrin parted ways. It doesn't exactly specify as to why. There isn't a conversation. Maybe the survivors could just tell that wherever Túrin went, death was surely to follow. That's a possibility. Got a bad vibe. Or maybe Túrin, with his knowledge that his mother and sister should be safely in Doriath, he can now rescue Finduilas. And maybe he told them that, like, okay, they're good. Now I have to go to Finduilas. So either way, they parted company and headed south towards one of the infamous rivers, Sirion. So when he was leaving Nargothrond, after the dragon manipulated him, he felt he had, quote, two bitter choices, Finduilas or his mother and sister. Now, after what he learned in Dor-lómin, he feels like he has three bitter choices. Quote, and his oppressed people called him, upon whom he had brought only increase of woe.
Well, yeah.
An increase of woe? Not more woe.
They pull out a pie
Woe
chart.
or not woe.
No, they pull out a graph chart. They're like, see our woe? It was okay for a while. Well, you were gone. Now, look at the spike. It's up here. In the 2 days you were here. Come on, man.
That woe factor is out of control. So it doesn't explain his bitter choices, but I'm, assuming. So going after Finduilas, going after mom and sister, and saving the people of Dor-lómin, especially since he just really messed things up for them. So he's got a bit of a conscience, I suppose.
I guess.
So on the one hand, his mom and sister are safe in Doriath and probably have been for some time at this point. And you know what? Túrin takes a minute to pat himself on the back. He's like, you know what? It was thanks to me that the road was made clear for them to be able to do that, because I was the black sword that, cleared up the roads so that they could escape. So yay me. All hail the black sword for being amazing.
Túrin. No? Nobody?
So if he were to go and rescue them, if he had gone to rescue them earlier, he just would have probably gone to Doriath with them anyway. So, he's like, I think there's not much I can do there. Quote, it is better as things be, for by my wrath and rash deeds I cast a shadow wherever I dwell. Let Melian keep them, and I will leave them in peace unshadowed for a while.
He's finally
knows he's got a black cloud over his head.
Yeah, like, you know what? Maybe I'm not helping as much as I thought.
Yeah. And just a reminder, Melian is the queen of Doriath. She's the one that created the girdle of Melian that keeps Doriath safe. So just in case you didn't remember who that was. But he's like, oh,
what lady?
What was that?
King Thingol's lady.
Yes. So I guess, people are better when they're not around me. So I guess I'll leave them alone for a little bit.
Okay, no, but do you totally think that he was like, nobody understands. I'm just trying to help. Fine. If you don't want me around, I'll go. Do you think that's exactly how it went down? Not
I think that
super humble about it. You know what? I should go. I feel like I'm not doing any good. I feel like he's like, fine. If you guys don't like me, I'm gonna go.
I almost feel like he's not a stupid guy. That's the funny thing about Túrin, is that I don't think he was angsty about it like that. I think he just was like, no, I want to help. And they're like, no, please, just go. He's like, but I want to, nope. You've done enough.
Yeah.
So he's not stupid per se, but
yeah.
So he's going to leave his mother and sister in Doriath, so taking them off the list. Apparently, he rules out that third choice of saving his people because, going back to Dor-lómin at this point, I mean, he needs to give that time some to settle down. He's just ruined everything there. So if he came back, they'd be like, you're just go. We told you to go.
They have his picture up, like, do not let this guy back in here.
So, and plus he doesn't have the resources. It's just him right now. So he can't really do much good for them anyway. So at least he's got that in his head. That's a smart move. So with those two taken off the table, Finduilas is the only thing left. So off to save Finduilas it is.
I love that she is his last option. Like, oh, anything else? Okay. All right. I guess I'll go save her.
Yeah. So Túrin starts by searching the woods and by the mountains. And of course, it's been quite some time since the orcs passed through this area with Finduilas and the other prisoners in tow. So all the trails, all of the, footpaths that could have led him, tracks, have all been erased by the weather because also it is winter, of course. So one day, Túrin is searching by a river when he hears the sound of fighting nearby. And of course, he's got to go run and find out what's going on. He's like, it could be them. So he runs to the sound only to find a small group of men surrounded by orcs. Quote, they defended themselves desperately with their backs to a knot of trees that grew apart in a glade. But the orcs were in great number, and they had little hope of escape unless help came.
Did he go, bah, 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 it's me?
Kind of, in a way. Actually, he surprised me here because this is actually pretty clever. And like I said, I don't think he's dumb, but I do think he lets his what's the word?
Ego?
Yeah, he thinks with his ego rather than his brain. So one would think that he's just gonna, could declare himself, here I am to save the day, I'm gonna barrel in there and attack the orcs. But he doesn't. He does something cunning. Quote, out of sight in the underwood, Túrin made a great noise of stamping and crashing, and then he cried in a loud voice as if leading many men. Ha! Here we find them! Follow me, all! Out now and slay!
That's adorable, actually. I love that.
Out now and slay.
We've got you surrounded.
I can't decide if I love it or hate it.
It's we've got you surrounded.
Yes.
Yeah, how many are out there?
Yeah. What should I say?
Yeah.
It'd be funnier if there was one more sidekick guy there, but no. It's just Túrin. But the show, the brilliant show of theatrics actually work on the orcs because, orcs aren't the brightest. And they start getting worried and they're scared. They get scared of this apparent army about to attack. Quote, and then out came Túrin, leaping, waving as if to men behind, and the edges of Girthing, remember that's his black sword, flickered like flame in his hand. Too well was that blade known to the orcs, and even before he sprang among them, many scattered and fled.
Did they shout his name like in the Hobbit movie where the Goblin King's like, it's that sword, and he says the name of
not the black sword.
Yeah. What's the one from the Hobbit where he's like, the Goblin King's like, not the faux hammer.
Faux hammer, the biter. Something was a biter.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yes, that's exactly what I remember or what I imagine happening. But also, okay, I think very critically about these scenes. I imagine them in my head, and I'm like, was this sword really recognizable, from far away? Is it that black?
That'd be awesome.
I have a hard time picturing it. Yeah. Well, either way, excellent performance on Túrin's part because his ploy worked beautifully. Túrin and the previously surrounded men chased the orcs to the banks of a river where few came across.
Okay.
Because, they killed them.
Yes.
They didn't make it.
Sidebar, really quick.
Sidebar. Okay.
How I would pay money and I would travel to come see if someone made a museum exhibit of Tolkien weaponry that you hear about, like artifacts of Tolkien, but someone like artisans, like metalsmiths and like armorers and stuff, like actually made like the dragon helm or the Silmaril crown or like the lanterns that glowed, like stuff like that. If someone really made those and like made a full gallery show, oh my gosh. So many people would go see that. Are you kidding me? Like, so many people would do that.
I like it. If we speak it out to the universe, it will happen one day, Abby.
We need more blacksmith friends. Come on.
We're nice. We're friendly.
Where are the dwarfs that aren't there?
Well, Dan works with wood, not with metal. Darn. Like, he's a dwarf, but no. Okay. If you're a dwarf man and work with metal and can make swords,
come on. I want to see the black sword. I want to see like
the blue spear thing.
the blue shield.
The shiny shield. Yeah.
Come on.
Yes. I'm here for it all. So, okay, back to the story. So, few orcs make it across this river because they all, die. And the men, I'm sure, are like high-fiving each other. There's a butt smack in there because they just, conquered the orcs. And tell me you don't think it happened at least once, because there's so much butt smacking in baseball and all the other sports. It had to have started somewhere. It started on the battlefield, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's their origin. The origin.
Then they get to talking. They're like, "Yeah, wasn't that so cool? And you chopped off that orc's head." Yes, it was so cool. Then the leader of this group of men, his name is Dor-lómin. He speaks first to Túrin because I'm sure they got some questions. He says, quote, "You are swift in the hunt, Lord, but your men are slow to follow."
Is he in on the joke, or?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, is he in on the joke, or is he actually still waiting for men to come out of the bushes?
Yeah.
Then Túrin, every once in a while, he surprises me with his wit. I'm like, I don't think he's dumb, for the record, but I wouldn't call him a funny guy. Túrin is a funny guy. Túrin, not funny. So he responds, quote, "Nay, we all run together as one man and will not be parted."
It's just me.
Yes. But like thinking of all of his names, I could be like, yeah, I got the Mormogil over here, and I got the Black Sword over there, and I got Nathan over there, and
Steve. He's a good guy. That guy.
Yeah. So the men laugh as they thank Túrin for saving them, but of course they have to ask, like, okay, so who are you? What's going on? What are you doing here? What's your plan? What's your deal here? And so of course, if you ask Túrin what his name is, it's a new opportunity for a new name.
Yeah. Oh. Get it, Túrin.
Are you ready for his name? Quote, "I but follow my trade, which is orc slaying, and I dwell where my trade is. I am Wildman of the woods." Not his best. And like really generic, because funny enough, these are also wild men of the woods. Like what a small world.
Do you know my cousin? Other wild man of the woods?
So the men are like, you should join us. We love also being in the woods, and we also love slaying orcs. I mean, what are the odds? Then Túrin suddenly remembers he is the worst and bad things follow him wherever he goes. And he says this out loud. Like this should be just like a head thought, not an out loud thought. As he said, quote, "Are there then any left who will suffer me to darken their doors?"
He's so brooding.
So like, hey, you should come, stay at our house. Are there any left who will let me live there and be okay with that? Like, if
His
I were
hair
the men, I
all
would have been like,
over his eyes.
oh, maybe we should have gotten to know this guy first before offering him a place with us. Like,
Yeah.
sounds like he's got a bad
What's
past.
his name
Who,
once again?
yeah. Who else's doors has he darkened? And what happened then to them if there's not any left?
Yeah. Hmm.
After what I'm sure was a completely normal amount of time between sentences, Turin suddenly remembers what he was supposed to be doing, as he says. So, like, imagine, like, him saying that, it going all dark and broody, and then, and then, like, suddenly just light turns, like, his facial expression changes, like, the sun comes out from a cloud, like, it just completely changes the mood and the vibe. But, friends, I have still a grievous errand, to find Finduilas, daughter of Orodreth of Nargothrond, or at least to learn news of her. Alas, many weeks is it since she was taken from Nargothrond, but still I must go seeking.
Do you think he really has a chance? Do you think he thinks he really has a chance to find her?
I think he does. And the reason being is, so Tolkien did not put down any type of timeline. How long it took Túrin to run there. How long he was it just one day in Dor-lómin that he caused all that chaos? How long he's been searching. Like, there's no timeline. There's no, like, diary entries with dates. So, in my head, it has been quite some time. But, like, does Túrin know that it has been quite some time? Like, does Túrin have any concept of time?
Yeah.
Like, that was just, like, last week, right? Like, she's still alive. Yeah?
Right,
Can't
guys?
be that far behind.
Guys?
Yeah.
No?
So, like, hey, you've been in the woods for a while. You haven't seen, like, pretty girl running by, probably screaming the name Mormagil behind her. Any chance? No? Have you?
No.
So, these get real quiet real fast amongst the men as they try to figure out how to break the news to this guy they just met. And apparently the leader, Dorlas, drew the short straw as he tries to gently break the news to Túrin. Quote, "Seek no more, for an orc host came up from Nargothrond, and we had long warning of it. It marched very slow because of the number of captives that were led. Then we thought to deal our small stroke in the war, and we ambushed the orcs with all the bowmen we could muster and hoped to save some of the prisoners." So this small ragtag band of men just wanted to help in what small way they could. They saw, this small army of orcs, and they were going slow because of all their, captured booty and prisoners and stuff. And they can't take down a whole army, but maybe they could do this. They got the element of surprise. There's, like, people to save. Like, maybe they could do this one.
Yeah.
Quote, "But alas, as soon as they were sailed, the foul orcs slew first the women among their captives, and the daughter of Orodreth they fastened to a tree with a spear."
Oh, yeah. She was, like, stabbed or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So again, I'm picturing in my head this scene. Such a weird detail. You have this large party of orcs, and there are probably a few who are leading, like, imagine like a long line of captives all tied together with, like, rope or something. There's, like, one guy holding, like, this long line of, like 10 women or something like that. And then all of a sudden, they're ambushed by these random woodsmen. And somehow, in the clash of battle, there's enough time to, I'm assuming this is what's happened. Not only tie Finduilas to a tree, like, oh no, like, we're being attacked, tie the prisoners so they can't escape. Like, that, in my head, that makes sense. So they tie her to a tree, and then somehow, amongst the thing, like, oh no, forget this, kill the women. And then they, like, back up far enough away from her to just throw a spear at her? Like, why?
Maybe it
But
wasn't even
why?
that far away. Maybe they just like were standing super close next to her and they just like
Jeez.
like a javelin
Ye-
war.
Yeah. See, in my head, I'm thinking like of the long spears. I'm like, okay, I have to back up a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
like, why just her did they do this to? Like, did they know who she was? Was she just like, oh, that girl's the prettiest. She, is probably the most, prized captive.
she is a mortal. She was
Nope.
a
She's an elf.
she's an elf. Okay. Were there so these were other elves that were with them?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she was like, I don't know, trying to
Oh my gosh, I
protect
just
them?
imagined. Hold on. Are you ready for my sad side quest or side story that I am seeing in my brain?
No, but okay.
Okay. So she's the princess. It's
Okay.
never calls her the princess, but she is a doggone princess. Okay. She has been in Nargothrond. These are elves. They've known each other quite some time.
Okay.
Finduilas is the leader in this scenario.
Okay.
As they're marching, with the orcs, they're like, it's okay, my friends. The Mormagil will come save us. He will be here any minute, I'm sure of it. And then this happens.
Yes. They're probably like tired of her talk of hope and stuff and they're like, "Be quiet. No one's coming to save you."
Yeah. So, like, I'm wondering if she, like, made it obvious that she was the leader
Yeah, that's
by
what I was
her
thinking.
trying to comfort her people.
Yeah,
Like,
that's exactly
thank
what I
you,
was
princess.
thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So,
Okay.
nowhere does it say this in the book. This is our speculation, but I like it. I'm going with it.
I mean, it makes it
Um,
make sense that they picked her out of the
exact
crowd, so.
right. But anyways, terrible way to die. Cause like that's not a fast death. I know sometimes in the movies it looks fast. It's not. It takes a while. Um, so how do you think Túrin is going to take this news? Because he takes news so well. He's a very rational, likes to think deep.
Calm.
Um, very calm. Yeah. He says, "Quote: Túrin stood as one mortally stricken. How do you know this?" He said. Okay, so that's pretty reasonable of Túrin. I'm actually kind of proud. Shock, denial, very reasonable reactions.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Uh-huh.
and amongst this crazy scene we just pictured, like, how is there any time for anyone to talk to her? Well, apparently Dor-lómin did. Quote, she looked upon us as though seeking one whom she had expected, and she said, Mormagil, remember that's the black sword, tell the Mormagil that Finduilas is here. She said no more, but because of her latest words, we laid her where she died. She lies in a mound beside Teiglin, it's another river. It is a month now ago.
Ah. Oh, Turin.
Mm-hmm. So that
Let-
might have been the most traumatizing thing and like way to tell Túrin. So not only is he a whole month late, but she was obviously waiting and expecting Túrin to come and rescue her.
And they had to
So,
drive it in. They had to like really drive it to him, like, and then she just said,
well, they don't know it's him,
I
but
know.
yeah, like,
But they had to
yeah,
run
the way
like,
that.
and she said,
Mhm.
he's gonna save me. I'll survive. I'll live because
Mhm.
this man is gonna come and save me. I just know it.
Mhm.
So anyway, she died.
Mhm. So, poor freaking girl. Of course, Tor needs to see it with his own eyes, so he asks to be taken where she's buried. Quote,
Huh?
there he laid himself down, and a darkness fell on him, so they thought he was dead.
Oh, that's some deep
So what
depression right there.
he just lays himself down, this perfectly healthy looking man, and then he turns so sad in that instant that somehow immediately looked like he died. Like immediate death. How
Whoa.
what does that look like? Like, how does that I don't understand. So these guys finally catch on as to what is happening. And one of them says, quote, too late. this is a piteous chance, but see, here lies the Mormagil himself, the great captain of Nargothrond. By his sword we should have known him, as did the orcs.
Who-
Oh.
Oh, it's that guy.
Yeah.
Ooh, awkward.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Like
but
that. The dawn of apprehension must have like almost been comical, them trying to put it all together. And there was one guy at the end, he's like, I don't get it. Like,
yeah.
um, because, even the Black Sword of Nargothrond, he's so famous, he's infamous.
Yeah.
Even these woodsmen know of him. Like, he's big, you guys. Now, it doesn't say how long Túrin laid there. I mean, what do you do in that situation? Like, how long do you give him?
Yeah, like,
Do you try talking to him? Do you try, like, what is your move? I
are we
mean,
talking hours? Are we talking
yeah,
like days?
doesn't specify.
Oh.
But like, honestly, how long do you give someone?
Well,
Before,
like Aragorn, he's like, let's get to stepping after like Gandalf died.
get them up.
yeah. And Boromir. Boromir was the real one in that one.
Yeah.
That scene.
Yeah. So eventually, I mean, maybe they try talking to him and he's just comatose. And so they pick him up, quote, with reverence, and they take him back to their home.
Oh, he's so sad. He can't even walk.
Mm-hmm. Now, you might be wondering, who are these woodsmen? Where have they been all this time? Where, like, what people are they from? Well, these are actually the people of Haleth. Remember, Haleth was the Bade warrior queen that is one of my favorites. She formed her own people. They live in the forest of Brethel, the same forest that Túrin was an outlaw in for a while. The people of Haleth were always small in number. They usually kept to themselves and they usually lived in the woods. Occasionally, they would hunt down orcs that strayed onto their borders when they could, but I wouldn't call them fighters necessarily. They're not the folk of Hodor that are out, fighting alongside the elves. These are people that
Want to survive.
and want to survive and try and stay out of it. So they have a settlement that is within a stockade. So you say stockade, and I immediately think of those wood fortresses that fort. Oh gosh, there was one in Wyoming where we grew up. Bridger, I think, where it's just wood.
Kind of like a castle.
Kind of like a castle, but with just wood. And they built this stockade on a mountain called Amon Obel. Now, Amon, if you remember from Amon Rud, just means hill. Obel means fenced homestead. So, hill of the fenced homestead. So that's the mountain it was on. But, of course, we can't make it simple and just call it that. They have to name the settlement. And the settlement is called Ethel Brandir. Ethel means outer fence, sure. And Brandir is actually a person. Brandir just means lordly man, which I kind of think is funny. Now, Brandir, not Brandy, Brandir.
Or Brandon.
If I can read the family trees correctly, I believe that Brandir and Hurin were actually, I Googled this, I hope I'm right, first cousins once removed. It's close. Because they did intermingle a little bit between the houses of, Beor and Hodor and the people of Haleth. There was a bit of mingling. So that would make Brandir, Brandir is Túrin's second cousin once removed, and also a second cousin on his father's side, if that makes any sense. It's close. Another cool thing is that Brandir is about 5 generations down from Haleth, making her his 3 times great-grandfather's sister. So if you want to connect the dots, that's the dots I was able to connect.
When we post about this episode on Instagram, you'll have to add a little family tree.
Yeah, there is one on the outline if you want to look at it, if you want to scroll down.
Okay.
But I'll keep going. So anyways, Brandir had some unfortunate nicknames because he broke his leg in a misadventure in childhood.
Oh, sad.
Very vague. And apparently it must have been like a tricky break, or they didn't know what to do about breaks back then, because then it obviously didn't heal properly, because he would henceforth be nicknamed Clubfoot or Brandir the Lame.
Guys, why are you guys making me nicknames? That's so nice. Come on. He didn't deserve that. He already has a hard life.
Yeah. So being at a bit of a disadvantage physically, Brandir was noted to be, quote, gentle in mood, loving wood rather than metal, and the knowledge of things that grow in the earth rather than other lore.
Aww.
So, and I will say, I can't remember if it says this specifically, but him saying knowledge of things that grow in the earth, it is kind of hinted that he could be like a healer of sorts. Like that's kind of the vibe I got. I could be wrong, but that's the vibe I got. Okay, so now that we know more about Brandir and his family tree, we can go back to our story.
Okay.
So the woodsman had brought back a very sad, to the point that he looks dead, Túrin to their home. And at their arrival,
boneless.
Brandir said,
you know, that where he's just like, they try to pick him up and he's not helping at all, like a toddler.
Yeah.
And you're like, come on, we need to leave. And he's like,
ragdoll.
Don't you go boneless on me.
So, the woodsmen are coming with this dead Túrin in tow, and Brandir says, quote, "O cruel men of Haleth, why did you hold back death from this man? With great labor you have brought hither the last bane of our people."
Why'd you guys waste your time on this?
Yeah.
You should have let him die.
So the sentence took me a minute. So the first part, yeah, like, why didn't you just let this guy die? It clearly looks like he's about to, kind of the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second part gave me pause, because, like, you guys went through a lot of effort to bring this guy to us, and I'm sure he's going to be the death of us all. Like, how would he know that? But maybe he's like, oh, obviously this guy has been up to mischief, and you bringing him here will lead that mischief here too? Like,
yes,
this guy's seen some stuff. Yeah, he's got bad news. Bad news is going to follow him.
They do that thing in Pirates of the Caribbean where they, like, spit on the ground and they walk really quick.
The black spot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. He doesn't know it. He doesn't know Túrin at all, but he is absolutely right to think that.
Yes. Spot on.
His vibes are spot on. And funny enough, we get a little footnote from Christopher. We haven't had one of these footnotes in a while.
Thank you. Everybody say thank you, Christopher.
Thank you, Christopher. And Christopher just wants to point out that in the Silmarillion version of this part, Dor-lómin brought the news to Brandir about how they came across this guy, and him and the other woodsman brought Túrin in on something called a beer. It's B-I-E-R. And basically, it's just, the definition is a movable frame on which a coffin or a corpse is placed before burial. Kind of fitting. Yeah. And at seeing Túrin's face and hearing the story from Dor-lómin, that's when Brandir gets, quote, a cloud of foreboding on his heart. So in this Unfinished Tales version, doesn't even hear the story, barely even sees Túrin, and he's like, bad news. And in the Silmarillion version, it's like he hears the story and looks at Túrin, and then he gets bad news. So different. But still, I mean, Brandir's intuition's right on.
Yeah.
So having that pointed out, I think Tolkien meant that Brandir automatically had a feeling about Túrin and the trouble he would bring. Like, just off the bat.
Yes.
Anyway,
The vibes
The
were
woodsmen
off.
have to do
His
yeah.
aura was weird. No,
Yes.
thank you.
Mhm. Um, instead of a medical alert bracelet saying, like, "Get help immediately, I have an allergy," or something like that, it's like, "Run away as fast as you can from me."
Yes. I will only bring death and destruction upon you and your house.
Yes. So the woodsman, after being like questioned, like, why did you bring this guy back? The woodsman like have to defend their choice in bringing him back. So they say, quote, "Nay, it is the Mormagil of Nargothrond, a mighty orc slayer, and he shall be a great help to us if he lives. And were it not so, should we leave a man woe-stricken to lie as a carrion by the way?" Like carrion being like basically dead meat to be taken away by an animal. So like
Yes. Uh-huh.
dude, I know he looks rough, but you should have seen him fight off these orcs. Like, it was totally awesome. I bet he could take on like 20 orcs, this guy. We could have just like leave him behind. Think how cool it would be to fight with him.
Plus, if he dies, I call his sword. It's mine.
Yeah. Like, what were we supposed to do? Just leave him behind? No. And I can just like feel Brandir's heavy sigh through the
Ohana
pages as
means
he's
family.
I can hear Brandir's heavy sigh through the pages as he says, quote, "You should not indeed. Doom willed it not so."
This guy knew some stuff.
I know. Like, I guess not. I mean, you guys just happened to find that stretcher next to him after he collapsed, right? Like, it wasn't like it just
Magic
was really convenient,
appeared.
right? Yeah. So Brandir takes Túrin into his house and takes care of him. Now, do you think he is just like exhausted and just sleeps for hours and hours? He has been through a lot. I'm sure he could use a sleep. Or is he just lying there silent and catatonic? Like,
It's giving when Edward leaves Bella and she's
yes,
just like sitting there and like
yes,
doesn't move.
silent and catatonic.
Yes.
Okay, so imagine that for a while. It doesn't exactly say because it was winter when all this happened, and
Mhm.
Túrin doesn't shake off this darkness until it is spring.
Like Bella.
I know. Quote,
It does
he'll
the montage like in Twilight.
there's a possibility. The
Yes.
song.
With the with the muds playing out in the background. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Killing me. That's exactly what's happening. uh,
And he awoke and saw sun on the green buds. Then the course of the house of Hodor awoke in him also, and he rose and said in his heart, quote, "All my deeds and past days were dark and full of evil, but a new day is come. Here I will stay at peace and renounce name and kin, and so I will put my shadow behind me, or at least not lay it upon those that I love."
Did he say this in his bed? Like getting up slowly. He's like, I can do this.
I could do this.
I'm
I can.
strong.
Yes.
I matter.
It's a lovely thought, but I highly doubt it will be that easy for you, Turin, because you're just bound to mess it all up. But, with a new day and a new outlook on life, Turin has to change his name again. And here's where he gets the name most often used with Turin, Turambar, Master of Doom.
Whoa. I mean, that is pretty metal.
It's pretty metal, but like if you're looking for like changing your life and looking for a life of peace and like harmony and basically like I'm trying to put my mistakes and my like, past behind me, I might have chosen a different name. Like, I
That's
don't know,
the
Jerry.
thing.
But no, it's like he's trying to turn a new leaf, but he can't quite do it. He's like, but I'm still the master of doom, right? I still have the doom and gloom.
You know what I feel? Okay, I'm sorry. I keep jumping into like movie references,
I like it though.
but
Keep it coming.
that scene, it's one of my favorite scenes in the is it the second Hunger Games? Third Hunger Games. Like the first half of Mockingjay, I think it is.
Uh-huh.
When she gets back to like where she's being the rebellion area, like she gets pulled back from the arena and she's safe and she's laying there and she's like all hurt and stuff, and then they're like, and they kidnapped PETA and they blew up District 12, and she's like, huh, huh, huh. And then she like suddenly gets like really angry, and then she like looks at the camera, and then she's like, you're like, oh, she's gonna do stuff now. Like she's like mad at the world. That's my thought of what he's doing right now, where he's like, no, it's my time to shine. I'm gonna like take up my name, and I'm gonna be the, what is it, Master of Doom or something like that. Wahaha.
So, with that lovely new name, he actually lives among the woodsmen, makes some friends, and he's like, they keep trying to call him Mormogil. I was like, no, 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 Turambar. Forget my previous life. Just act if I was this. Act as if I was born here. Act as if I've lived amongst you for years. Just can we just pretend that?
Yeah.
Can we just like make that my new backstory? Quote, yet with the change of a name, he could not change wholly his temper, nor wholly forget his old griefs against the servants of Morgoth. And he would go hunting the orcs with a few of the same mind, though this was displeasing to Brandir, for he hoped rather to preserve his people by silence and secrecy.
He's not the one to go looking for a fight, He's not the one that's like gonna go out of his way to make his people be in danger,
Exactly. So, and plus also, like, I can just imagine, like, I just fixed you, and here you go back into the fray just to get all messed up again. Like, I spent like at least a month trying to heal you from all this trauma, and there you go, just getting some more.
Yeah. Túrin.
And so Túrin, is going to mess with this secret settlement of people and get them discovered by the enemy again. Like, I wonder if Ethel Brandir could use a big bridge. I wonder if they should start being on the attack. I wonder if they want to invite a big, large dragon to come and play. Like, it's Nargothrond all over again.
You guys need some billboards. Yes. You need some billboards to show where you guys are, how established you guys are, how like nice of a place you got here. You guys really need to be on the map,
Mm-hmm. And Brandir even tries warning Túrin, saying, quote, the Mormogil is no more, yet have a care lest the valor of Turambar bring a like vengeance on Brethil.
Yeah. He's just a good guy trying to take care of his people. Come on.
He's very wise. At least here. Later he's gonna be stupid. But so like you said, you weren't the Mormogil anymore. So what are you doing? Like, well, Túrin's loophole with this was to leave the actual black sword at home. And in fact, he didn't even use a sword, like just to be safe, like not even to like give the idea of the black sword. He only used a bow and a spear. So like nothing like the Mormogil at all. It's totally different.
Yeah.
They won't even recognize me. So Túrin keeps all the orcs away from their nearby river crossing. He also makes a point to keep the orcs away from Finduilas' grave mound. So much so that the orcs begin to be afraid of that area. And of course, when the orcs are afraid of the area, they have to call it something because they did that last time, right? So they call it the Mound of the Elf Maid.
Ooh. I mean, sad, but ooh.
Yeah. So Dor-lómin, remember that's like the leader of the group that found him, but not the leader. Dor-lómin one day says to Túrin, quote, you have renounced the name, but the black sword you are still. And does not rumor say truly that he was the son of Hurin of Dor-lómin, lord of the house of Hador? Like, aren't you that guy? And that guy that's like related to that other famous guy? Like, isn't that
where? What is it? What Kronk says? He's like, dance class, so jazz class. So with I was always in the back with my weak ankles because my weak ankles.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah.
is that where we know each other?
Yeah. So Túrin replies, quote, "So I have heard, but publish it not, I beg you, as you are my friend." Like, yeah, I heard that rumor too. So weird. Maybe don't keep talking about it though.
I swear I will cut you. Like,
Yeah. Let's not give that rumor more credence. And that's actually where I'm going to leave you today. That's the end of the section.
what?
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
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 Well, thank you for your listening, and thank you for joining us on this journey through Middle Earth. Don't forget to follow us at Sisters of the Shire podcast on Instagram. Feel free to comment, like, share, all of the things. Big thank you to our patrons, Dan, Tom, Kevin, and Victoria. We really appreciate your support. It really does mean a lot. It really helps us pay for our costs and keeps us doing what we do. And we really appreciate it. If you'd like to join our Patreon, we're at patreon.com/Sisters of the Shire podcast. We have very well-themed tiers, if I do say so myself. The lowest being $3 to be an elf friend of the Shire, $7 a dwarf friend of the Shire, or $9 get you in as one of our women friends of the Shire. But if you can't help us out monetarily, we get it. You could help us out a ton by leaving us a rating or sharing us with your friends.
Yeah.
It really, really helps and keeps us relevant on the algorithms and such. Those robots.
Those darn algorithms.
Algorithms. Go ahead.
I was also say that we also like if you share anything with us on Instagram, like Tolkien art that you do or anything like that, we love to put it on our stories and promote you that way. So if that's something you would like to do.
Any artists listening or any artists that know an artist listening, I think it has happened once or twice where someone made a cartoon of something I was trying to like visually say out loud. I'm like, I feel like it could be something, but I don't have the skills to make it into art. It would make my entire life if you made anything I say into art.
Hey, and we're still up for blacksmiths and stuff making a Tolkien gallery show.
Yes, totally.
I mean, like if we got to see,
we'll help in any way we can. I can hammer things. Totally.
We got to see up close like all the dwarven rings and the men's rings and like stuff like that because they don't get a lot of time to shine. You know, I want to see those.
I want to see the rock candy rings.
I want to see like Tor's like bird armor or whatever he gets that like fits him perfectly.
Oh yeah.
You know? Come on, guys. That's what I want.
I'm here for it. Well, if we make it out, put it out into the universe, it might happen one day.
It will. It will. It will.
Well, in world news, Philippines overtook Argentina, and Lebanon, who is one of our newer ones, is still climbing that ladder, overtook the Netherlands and France. Yeah. So awesome. I hope you're enjoying your binge. I hope you're still like us by the end of it. We only grow. We're like a fine wine. We only get better with time, right?
Yes.
Because all of the inside jokes make more sense.
Yeah, it's true. Well, thank you for teaching me today.
You're welcome. Until next time, I've been Ashley.
And I've been Abby, and this has been the Sisters of the Shire podcast, and we are so happy you chose to join us today, and we hope that you'll join us next time. Bye!
Bye!
Thank you for teaching me a day.